Hey guys, welcome back. So for today's video, I was at Ulta the other day and got super inspired. I was kind of walking through the drugstore side of it, how they have like the high end and then the drugstore, and I came across some palettes and I was kind of realizing I've never really tried many drugstore eyeshadow palettes, and so I came across one. Well, I came across a few that Covergirl had come out with. They have all different shades and different palettes with different themes and things like that. I picked up one of those and I kind of was inspired to just do like a peachy coral kind of look, and I'm really into like peach, that like light pink and whites right now, as you can tell. I kind of just wanted to create a look with those types of colors and also try a few new things. There's a couple things here also that I'm just now trying. I just thought I would sit down with you guys and try some stuff, hang out, just kind of chit chat about different things. So if you want to see how I got this peachy corally drugstore look, half drugstore look going on, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I went ahead and zoomed you guys in a little bit. So I've already prepped the skin, primed, everything like that. So we're ready to go in with foundation. I'm going to be using my same foundation that I love. It's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea. So I was using the shade Fair Light Sand, but now I'm at Porcelain, which is the lightest shade. I guess I'm just getting paler and paler as the days go on, but that's okay. That's okay. At least they still have a shade I can use. So I'm gonna go in with this today. I had told y'all that if I use a foundation that doesn't work for me and it breaks me out, that I would tell you. So I have tons of breakouts going on, and it's because I tried the new foundation. So I have a hard time with drugstore in general as far as foundations go. I mean, it's because I have such sensitive skin. I can't just use whatever. But I saw the commercial for the CoverGirl, the new CoverGirl matte foundation, and it looked like it was supposed to be transfer proof and all these things. I was so excited to try it, and so I went in there and bought my shade and everything, and I had it on for 4 hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and my skin just completely broke out, like so bad. And I can kind of feel when something's starting to irritate my skin. I can kind of feel it, and so I kind of knew, but I was running errands and at a doctor's appointment and all these things, and so over in Dallas, so it's like an hour away, so I couldn't really do anything about it, and I didn't have a way to like take it off. I used that and I was so sad. I thought it looked decent on the skin, but yeah, it totally broke me out, so I couldn't really tell for sure how I feel about it for an entire day. So back to my Tarte. I did get the Bare Minerals foundation. I've used that before and it didn't break me out, and so, but I don't remember how I felt about it or why I stopped using it. So I went ahead and bought that again just to kind of try it out again to see. So we'll see with that kind of what happens. So I'm just gonna sit here. I did just 2 pumps on the back of my hand and just go in. With a little bit more. Gosh, it looks so white in the camera. I mean, it looks super white in person too, don't get me wrong, but this is the match. I mean, everything else was just too dark, and I hate having that stark line. It does have good coverage over kind of where I'm breaking out. It's super red, and so it definitely does have good coverage for that, and it's very, very buildable. I think that's one thing I love about water foundations is that, you know, with thicker foundations, once it's on, like a lot of times you really can't build on top of that. I mean, it's once it's there, and that's the coverage you're gonna get. But with these water foundations, I really find that it's easy to build. Next, I'm gonna go in. I got the Tarte Shape Tape powder, and so I'm gonna go in with just a little bit of that just to kind of set everything on the skin here. I'm gonna go in, oh, I forgot to tell y'all what I was using to blend the foundation. It was the Y6. That's normally what I use to blend the foundation. I love using beauty blenders, but with water foundations or, you know, anything that's too liquidy, it really just absorbs everything, so it's kind of wasting product. And so I like to use a brush with this foundation personally. So I'm going in with the Morphe E41, and just a huge, massive, fluffy brush, and I just kind of dip it in and just go all over, and I'm just gonna do a quick pat. Alrighty, so next thing, I'm going to take the Morphe Y4. This is the brush I love to use for bronzer, and I'm just going to go in with the Hoola bronzer, the regular one. Now that I went lighter on the foundation, I was thinking about this earlier, I probably should switch to the Hoola Light just so that it'd probably blend a little bit better. But for now, I'm just going to use the regular. So I'm just going to go around the hairline, blend it around there. I'm going to go just a little bit higher than you think you would normally need to go. So normally, you know, bronzer would kind of starting at your ear and go here. I like to do it a little bit higher so that you really have this section out here and it's not just all blending together. I find that it's a little bit easier and usually looks a little bit better throughout the day and just as you continue to do your makeup. So this Shape Tape powder, I do like it a lot. I think it keeps my makeup in place really well. The only thing is I haven't loved the way that powder has been blending on top of it. I don't know if it's just me, but I just haven't loved that. Like, to me, it just looks a little bit muddy right here. So I'm just gonna go through, kind of blend all this together. I like to just go in with this fluffy brush between each step just to really blend it all in and make sure it's all cohesive. So next, I'm gonna go in with just this little brush that I have from Sephora. It doesn't even have a name or anything. Oh, Pro Mini 55.5. It's just the one that came with the Whenever You Become a Rouge. This is what I used in my previous video. Also, I think it's the perfect size for blush. So I'm gonna go in with the NARS Orgasm. Really the only blush I've been using at the moment. I have a couple of others. I have a Tarte one that I really like also, but I don't know, this one's just so easy and I think it looks so good on the skin. I just put those right here and I just kind of blend it back a little bit in with the bronzer. And then again, take this brush and just blend all that out. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and get started on the eyes. So I picked up at the drugstore, I picked up one of the new Covergirl palettes. They had several different ones with like different color schemes. This is the one that I grabbed. It's the Peach Punch because I really wanted to use this color right here. But yeah, I thought these looked super cute and I haven't really tried many drugstore eyeshadows in a while. And so I thought I would pick one up and just kind of see. I played around with it a little bit this morning, but not enough to really tell anything. Let's start with the peach in the crease. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M433, just a fluffy crease brush, and I'm just gonna kind of dip it right in there and just go into that crease. I really want to make it like a cute little coral moment, like orangey coral, pink, I think would be really cute. And they have in this palette, it's almost like a greenish brown, and I kind of want to do something with that too. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So I'm bringing it a little bit down on the lid as well, just to get that kind of all over coral color and just really bring it all over. I think let's go in with kind of this shimmery pink, and I'm just going to layer it underneath and kind of brighten it up. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. That actually does look really cute layered over that coral color. Oh, I think that's cute. I like this. So I think I'm gonna try one of these shimmers. I don't know, I should probably spray with like some setting spray. The only one I have right now is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea one, but that should be fine. I'm gonna spray my brush a little bit, and then I'm gonna go into this shade right here. Can y'all see this one? And it's kind of like a champagne-y type. I'm just gonna kind of place that on the lid here. These shadows are actually performing really well. I'm really impressed with this. I think they're looking really good. I'm just kind of patting this all over the lid area, that same kind of champagne color. So the only thing I'm noticing is everything is kind of going on a little bit darker than what it looks like. I don't have anything like that. So now that I have that shimmer on, I think what I'm gonna do is kind of like low in this outer corner, blend that in with that darker kind of like brownish greenish shade right here. You can kind of see. I'm gonna use the M433 again, and I'm just gonna bring that in these lower corners, and I'm not gonna bring it up too high, just kind of real low, and just tap it in there. So this darker shade, and I had used this one earlier. This is one of the ones that I was kind of playing around with, and it does have some pickup, and it does go on. It doesn't go on super pigmented, but I kind of like that for a darker shade. That way it can be kind of more built up. It's always a little scary when you go in and it's just like stark black and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm just going to continue kind of tapping this in that outer corner and just blending it in and keeping it super low, but just blending it in with that shimmer. And I'm just going to go back in that with that shimmer and just kind of like mesh the two together. Just a little extra blending. And then just to like cohesively bring all of it back together, we're going to circle back around to that original shade, that original coral color that we had used. Go back in with that and just kind of go above everything that you just did, higher up, and just bring that to kind of bring it all together. I'm going to go in with this color on the end, this kind of deep brown. When I tapped into that, it had a lot of, y'all can see, there's a lot of fallout that kind of comes with it, which I don't totally mind. You just kind of have to tap your brush off. It's just a little bit messy, but I mean, we'll see how it performs. I'm just taking that and just smudging it right on that lower lash line. So this is definitely one. I think the colors look really good and they perform really well, especially those pink shades really blended nicely. The only thing is that with this palette, I would definitely do my eyes first next time and not my foundation because it has so much fallout. I like the way this looks. I'm gonna run off camera really quick and put on some mascara in my brows and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. So I just went in, just did a quick little brow and then went in with my L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. I know that I mentioned before that I didn't know that I was in love with this, but update, I'm in love with this. So this is such a good mascara. It took me a little bit because I was going with like volumizing mascaras before, and this is totally different. This is super like lengthening, but I've started using a serum on my lashes that makes them thicker, and so I kind of already have that thickness now, and then this brings the length, and now I'm obsessed with this. So it took me a little bit, but I love it. So I just went in with a little bit of that and then put on a little bit of lipstick. It's the ColourPop with their collaboration that they did with Kathleen Lights, the Zodiac collection, and it's What's Your Sign. This is still my favorite lipstick of all time, and so I just put a little bit of that on. I have not sprayed yet because I'm gonna go in with, this is an old palette, but I love it for highlights. It's the Becca Jaclyn Hill highlighting palette, and it's the one that she came out with, and it has like the 3 different highlights. I think I'm gonna do the white because I'm feeling this like white cozy vibe. We're gonna go in with the M530 for the highlight, and I think I'm gonna go in with just that white shade, dip it in a little bit, and just that right on there. Ooh, that looks so pretty. I love, it's just like a bright white. And what was the name of this one? This one's Pearl. And then Champagne Pop, that's the one that she actually created. And then I am going to take a small brush, the Morphe Y20, and I'm just going to dip into that white right here and just kind of pop a tiny bit right there under the brow bone on each side and then in the inner corner. And then now I'm just going to set everything with the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea 4-in-1 setting mist and just spray. Alright you guys, and this is the finished look. I had so much fun doing this. I've never actually played around with those kind of like coral shades before. I've done some pinks, but not really that like pinky coral, and so I actually love how this turned out, and I don't hate that eyeshadow palette. I actually think it's really good, and I would say that the end color that we used at the very end for under the lash line, that's the only one that really had a ton of fallout, but the rest of them were so good, and I actually really like them a lot. So I'm glad I tried this out. I may have to pick up a few more and kind of try them out for you guys. If y'all know of any good recommendations for drugstore eyeshadow palettes, let me know. I mostly just get, I love the ColourPop, and those are kind of, and Morphe too, like drugstore prices, but not sold at the drugstore. So if y'all have any recommendations for ones that are actually sold at the drugstore, please let me know. I never really try them out, but I would love to, especially after trying the CoverGirl one. I really love it. So yes, thank y'all so much for being here with me, and I had so much fun creating this look and playing around with highlighter. Got a little carried away. I'm looking over here in my mirror like, okay. But I had so much fun with you guys, and let me know in the comments below kind of just what your favorite things are and what you'd like to see next in future videos. So yes, I will see you guys next time. Bye.